Today we're going to do composition of transformations, and we've done this before with translations and reflections, and now all we're going to do is add rotations into that mix. So a composition of transformations, this is two or more transformations on one figure. So in question 1, we're going to first plot the triangle ABC, and then we're going to translate it and then reflect it. So let's start with plotting triangle ABC. If you need to pause the video, please go ahead and do so. -3, 1, that's my A, and then -3, -4, it's B, -1, 4 is C. And then feel free to use a ruler if you have a ruler. Otherwise, it's not a big deal. As long as you know what you're doing, you're good. Okay, so now we're first going to translate X and Y. So X is going to be moving 1 unit to the right and up 2 units. So I'm going to start with A, and I'm moving 1 unit to the right and up 2 units. And this is A prime. And now I'm going to write those coordinates here. You should get -2, 3. And let's do the same thing with B. So to the right 1, up 2. And you should land right there. And always remember to label it B prime. B prime is at -2, -2. Last one, C, and it goes up to 6. So you can just kind of eyeball that, and you should get the points 0, 6. All right. Just going to connect these. And that is our first step. Now what we're going to do, let me focus this a little bit more. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take our translated figure, so we're not even really looking at our first figure at all, and we're going to reflect it across the y-axis. So hopefully all of you remember the rule for this. We're not changing our y values, but we are doing the opposite of our x values. So we can go ahead and take our knowledge here and just use the rule to fill in this and then go ahead and graph. So I know it's going to be the opposite of the x. So I'm going to have 2, 3, and then B is opposite of the x. So 2, -2. I'm keeping my same y values, and the opposite of 0 is still 0. So I'm still going to get 0, 6. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and plot those points so we can fill in the rest of our triangle. So this is C prime and C double prime. So I'm just going to write it like that. And then let's do point A. So 2, 3, 2, 3. It's right here. This is A double prime. And B double prime is right here. If you forget the rule, that's okay. Just go ahead and count how many spaces away from the y-axis you are and reflect on the other side. I don't love memorizing rules, so whenever you forget your rules, you can always do that. All right, and that is our final triangle. Okay, let's do one more. We have triangle ABC with vertices A, 3, 0, B, 3, -5, and C, 5, -5. So I'm going to go ahead and plot this triangle first. So we have 3, 0. This is A. B is at 3, -5. That's my B. and my C is right here. Okay, now hopefully you remember what vector notation is. This is really similar to the notation we have up here. And now we're just going to go to the left 3 and up 4. So I'm starting with A, and I'm going to the left 3. So 1, 2, 3, and up 4. 2, 3, 4. And my A prime lands there. So A prime should be at 0, 4. Okay. B, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is my B prime. So B prime should be at 0, -1. Last one, C, I'm going left 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2, 3, 4. So C prime you should have at 2, -1. Okay, now we're going to rotate 90 degrees. It doesn't tell me if I'm rotating counterclockwise or clockwise, so whenever it doesn't say which direction, I'm always going to automatically assume that I'm going counterclockwise. So I'm going to go ahead and go counterclockwise. So I'm going this direction. And I know that with a rotation of 90 degrees, I have a rule that tells me x, y will land me at the opposite of y, x. Okay, so now I can just look at these coordinates and fill these coordinates in based off of this rule. So I'm writing the negative of y, keeping the x, but switching them, and then the opposite here, and then the opposite here, and just make sure to flip your x and y as well. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and plot those points. So I'm at -4, 0, and this is A double prime. B double prime is at 1, 0. That's B double prime. And then C double prime is at 1, 2, which is right here. I just realized that these are supposed to be positive. Hopefully you didn't make the same mistake that I just did. So B should actually be at 1, 0, which is right here. So this is actually B double prime. And then C double prime is at 1, 2. That looks better. All right, so now I'm going to connect those points. Sorry about that. Hopefully you didn't make that same mistake. And that should be your final rotation. All right, so hopefully this video has helped practice some compositions. You do have an assignment on IXL that will have you practice these more. Remember that when you're doing compositions, you're always starting with the very first thing, and then you're doing part A, and then part B based off of what you end up with in part A. So keep that in mind.